No, I'm just kidding. This is weird.
So now, stay with me, folks. These are the jokes. Next, again, we are going to welcome up a good friend of mine who's very smart and teaches children, as I said before. We're going to talk a little bit about the new bike path that is going up just tomorrow, actually, a grand opening for the, he'll tell me what it is. Jon Cohen, everybody. Oh, man. Finally sit down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I tell you.
Oh, it's comfy.
It's really tough.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
So,
man. I mean, you're a teacher. I mean, you
Yeah.
you don't have to work hard like talk show hosts. So
We'll go with that.
he humors me.
I do.
How are you, John?
Exhausted.
Are you? The school year is coming to a close, is it not?
Yeah. That's senior's last day today in CPS.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Were you there for that?
I was.
You didn't skip the last day. It's senior skip day, isn't it?
It was actually the third senior skip day of the year. So,
Kids nowadays, I'll tell you.
yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about, it's not the High Line, it's not the 606.
No, it's the Bloomingdale Trail.
The blue, oh good,
Yeah.
you made me notes.
Yeah, inspired by my students, I made a cheat sheet.
Thank
So,
you.
Yes.
I wrote it on my hand, but I'm sweating too much to do it off my hand.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
So Bloomingdale Trail opens June 6th, which is tomorrow.
Yes, it is.
But really, I wanted to talk first a little bit about something that you're teaching the children towards the end of the year. You have a lesson plan coming up about redlining.
Yeah.
Which it sounded interesting to me because I take the red line every day.
Okay. So, redlining and the red line are two different things, although equally shitty. Redlining. Take it back about 80-something years. Math's not really my thing, but
Not a math teacher. That's okay. 80
definitely
years.
not. God forbid. So 1930s, Great Depression. The federal government is trying to figure out how to kickstart the economy, right? Where to pour in what limited funds they have to development. And so they undertake this survey of American cities, looking for good neighborhoods to invest in, bad neighborhoods to avoid investing in. And the criteria that they use is the racial composition of the neighborhoods.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said the government used racial composition.
Yeah, federal government.
The
actually.
federal-
Yeah, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Actually.
Well, I didn't vote for
Liberal
him,
hero,
so.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
So what happened there?
They did their survey, and the whiter the neighborhood, the better the rating. All white neighborhoods got outlined in green, and majority poor white, or because if you're poor and white, obviously you've done something wrong. Right, with all the advantages you have, how can you still be poor? This is the federal government, not me. Or if, God forbid, you're a majority-minority neighborhood, you are getting outlined in red. And what happens is privately owned banks, they get a hold of these maps and they say, hey, the government did this study. Why don't we use these maps to decide where we're going to give loans and mortgages and things like that?
See, that's so nice. Back in the day, the banks and the government used to talk to each
Right.
other.
It's almost like
They used to help each other out.
Yeah.
You know, we're all friends
Yeah,
here.
for the
That's
benefit
good.
of
That's great. That's great.
almost part of all. Yeah.
So, I mean, this is common practice for real estate developers.
Yeah.
This is common practice for banks,
Yeah.
loaning out money.
Right, exactly. And so basically what happens is if you are a person who's moving to a new neighborhood, you want to live in a green neighborhood in the third, because that's where the investment is. And these green neighborhoods want to stay green, so they have this sort of silent agreement, and in some cases written agreements, with anyone who buys or rents a place in their neighborhood that they will not rent or sell to a minority. To keep the neighborhood white, to keep the neighborhood green, to keep investment coming in. And so you get investment in the white neighborhoods and neglect and degradation and depreciation in the minority neighborhoods.
Do you teach this to the kids after lunch so that they're like in a better mood, you know?
I don't know that I actually teach it at all. But ideally, it's third period.
Well, that's
Yes.
good.
Yeah, good. Right. I mean, because I haven't taught it yet. The lesson's happening Monday. So.
Oh, I'll be there.
Oh, good.
Great.
Have you been vetted by CPS?
Oh, many times.
Okay, good. Can't wait to have you.
Yeah, I go to all the football games. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So redlining, you get investment, white neighborhoods go up, black neighborhoods go down, and then that is in Chicago compounded by policies of the various daily regimes with patronage and so forth. And now what we have is, with the Rahm Emanuel administration, the Bloomingdale Trail opening tomorrow, goes through Wicker Park and Bucktown and Logan Square and Humboldt Park.
It's all right here.
Yeah, it's all right there. It's all right there, because I don't know geography. Yeah, but these neighborhoods have historically been lower middle class. It's significant minority populations.
I have right here a single-family home in Logan Square is now going to cost, thanks to the Bloomingdale Trail and other factors, between $400,000 and $600,000. 2 years ago, it was $200,000.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a big jump in 2 years.
That is a big jump in 2 years. And so what's happening is these minority families are being priced out of the neighborhoods. They put sweat equity into building up to making them attractive enough to be developed. And so, just for example, more statistics here.
Yes,
statistics. Right.
Right.
So the area of the Bloomingdale Trail has been built. This is a bike path, but it's also an elevated park. I guess to go next to the elevated train. So we have an upper city and a lower city. Let's make that as literal as possible. Right. So this elevated park will connect economically prosperous neighborhoods together, so that you can literally walk over the top of the poor people to get to the other rich neighborhood. Right, and have flowers and all sorts of nice things on your way. So what's happening is it goes through these neighborhoods, and now these neighborhoods become more valuable. The property rates go up because there's this development. And so in the parts of the area that the Bloomingdale Trail is being built on, the poorer parts of the neighborhoods, like Logan Square, 60% of the population there makes less than $50,000 a year. They're majority renters, and so what happens is the lease is up, now the property is worth more, real estate developers want to build, so you kick out the old renter, tear everything down, build up, bring in new renters or new owners, sell at a big profit.
These families can't, $50,000 a year versus a $600,000 single family home.
No, they're not buying into these properties.
There's a great article in the Chicago Reader just today about the Bloomingdale Trail.
Okay, so the key to cheat sheets and to cheating in general is that you never acknowledge the source that you cheated from.
I did some field reporting.
There it is.
And in that reporting, I read the Chicago Reader.
As part of your research.
Right,
yes,
great.
Yeah.
It's bibliography.
Yeah.
You have to bibliograph sources.
MLA works cited page.
MLA works cited page. You're bringing back some bad flashbacks.
Right.
John, is there an upside to any of this?
Nice gardens. Well, actually, yes. I mean, if you are part of the neighborhoods on either side of the trail, where the trail begins and the trail ends, where you have these nicer neighborhoods that are majority white and majority over $100,000 a year annual income, your property values are going to go up. You have new businesses that want to move into your neighborhoods. Things are going to get a lot better for you. So that's nice.
And I'll walk your dog.
Yeah.
For cheap.
Right, and I guess the point of this and why I think you asked me to come on here is we have, well, I hope, I don't know, I'm going to try to be profound, but it's late and I spent all day
This is
grading
not a
papers.
place for profundity, my friend.
Oh, okay, all right, well, in that case, no pressure. So, Mayor Emanuel, the re-elected Mayor Emanuel, has staked his sort of future and his political future on building what he calls the new Chicago.
That's right, building a new Chicago.
Yeah, over and over again. And there's nothing wrong necessarily with the new Chicago, right? We would like to have nice things. We would like to have a beautiful city. We would like to have elevated parks. But ideally, these parks would be available to everyone.
And accessible to everyone.
Right, yes, especially to the people who spent generations after being herded into these neighborhoods to have stayed there and stuck it out and worked and built themselves up and built the neighborhood up to the point that it's become an attractive development option, to be able to reap some of the benefit of that. And so what started out with redlining now, it's sort of happening in reverse, where the city government is now trying to take these lower class neighborhoods and gentrify them and effectively greenline them, to take the red neighborhoods and make them green. But as they become green, they're also becoming whiter because the minorities get moved out. And so the minorities are still in the red neighborhoods, white people are still in the green neighborhoods. We're just redrawing the lines. The city remains the most segregated city in the north, I believe. I'm not going to reveal my source. but
Right, don't, because that's how.
Yeah, because that's how. Yeah, right. That's how things happen.
Well, John, I really hope that you can keep this with the kids. You know, I don't know if you use sock puppets or like what you do to keep them, really engaged and listening. I take my suggestion of after lunch,
Yeah.
and
I will talk to my principal about shuffling my schedule.
do that,
Yeah.
and I'll see you on the bike path.
I don't bike anymore.
Jon Cohen, everybody.